Hi guys and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 51. Ripple partners with two banks, Ethereum transaction fees surpasses Bitcoins, and Colombia moving towards Bitcoin-friendly regulations. Now there are other articles that we will also cover. Happy Saturday to everyone, right? I hope you're having a great time. If you are enjoying yourself, then that's fine. Catch the replay. And if you're tuning in and watching us live, thank you for being here, right? As always, you're welcome to be here. And if you catch the replay and have any suggestions, you can always leave us a suggestion in the description, box below, right? And in the comments box below. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe. You hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. We are live every night at 9 p.m. Central. So, if you're tuning in for the second or third time, hit that like button, right? And that subscribe. Now, if you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is done, you can join us on the Discord. The link's in the description. You can also join us on Twitter. We are somewhat active on Twitter, not as active as we would like to be. More active on Discord. And if you send me a message on Discord, I'll answer a lot quicker than I do get to answering Twitter. Anyways, guys, there are no main news for the cryptosphere today. Everything was more focused on the coins. And even then, I struggled to find some articles that were worth reporting and stuff that we had not covered in previous streams. So we're going to move straight into the market dominance and Bitcoin dominance, and then we'll move on to the Bitcoin articles, right? Yeah, so what is happening with the market, right? Money flying out of the cryptosphere right now. So yesterday, going out 1.66%, right, from an opening of 261.6 billion, closing at 257.27 billion. Right now, still making negative day right now, so 1.35% down, basically sitting at 258.73 billion. Now, remember, this day just started 2 hours ago. Day closes at 7 p.m. Central, so minus 5 UTC. And right now we just started the new candle. So it's just about 2 hours old, and we still have the whole day to go. However, Bitcoin seems to be going a little bit down in price, recovered a little bit, and we'll check it out once we get to that part of the stream, right? Anyways, on to dominance. What is happening with Bitcoin dominance? Well, yesterday we had a red day, right? 0.14% down from an opening of 69.75, closing at 69.66. Now today we are having a positive day, meaning even though Bitcoin might be losing money, money is flowing into it, meaning money is potentially flying out of the alts, not necessarily into Bitcoin, but could be flowing out of the market. Anyways, right now sitting at plus 0.35, market dominance sitting at 69.91, right, for Bitcoin. So what is happening with Bitcoin, right? Well, Colombia is slowly moving towards Bitcoin-friendly regulations. Colombia is the third most important fintech economy in Latin America. In 2017, the number of fintech business grew by 61% compared to the previous year. I don't have the official data for 2016, but 61%, it's a lot, right? Hey, Benny, how's it going, man? Thank you for being here. I'm glad you are able to join us. Anyways, the next year, 2017, they grew by 76%. So if you consider that they grew 76% on top of that 61, that is a lot, right? And this year, they are already at 45% more, having more fintech startups than 2018 again. Colombia, South America, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about that Colombia, right? Anyways, they are having a lot of adoption. So, like I said, 61%, and then on top of that 61, they grew another 76, and then another 45 on top of that. So it's exponential, right? It adds up a little bit more every time. It's a lot that they're growing. Anyways, Colombia law, for example, does not currently recognize the legality of cryptocurrency exchanges, and losing access to financial services for unlawfully handling cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin is all too common, right? So it's something that does happen. Now, one of the most significant attempts to regulate the crypto industry came in the form of a bill 028 in 2018. The proposal sought to establish a set of rules that would formally legalize cryptocurrencies and their exchange via peer-to-peer transactions or other third parties, right? But the Colombian Senate rejected the proposal on June for fear of giving way to fraudsters to operate like pyramid schemes, Ponzi's, multi-level marketing, and other types of scams, right? So, in other words, right now, if you were to make any sort of transaction in cryptocurrency and you were swindled out of your money, the article stating that best you can do is like gripe and moan, and I believe that's pretty accurate. That's your options, right? Because the government can't do anything. It's not protected. You have no backing, so it's entirely your responsibility, whatever happens, right? Now, a new bill is being proposed, but Colombians will have to wait at least a year before it has any effect, and that's if it clears the legislature, right? So if it gets approved. So they're starting to make a movement to approve it. Uh, Basically, we'll see whenever that happens. Yeah, that's the only news I found for Bitcoin. There was not too much, Benny, yesterday we did an article on Bitcoin, and I think it kind of answered one of the questions that you had, which was, yeah, that what happened, right? And we found out that basically a lot of long positions got canceled out, and probably that's why we saw that dump. Anyways, what is happening with Bitcoin? Bitcoin sitting at 9,900 right now. Took a small dive today, hit that middle line of the channel, bounced off it. We traced this other channel, and we actually use this top part of the previous channel support. Traced this today to basically get a better understanding of what was happening. We are starting to make negative momentum. This is the third bar, and it's still building, right? Sitting low on the other side, 40. Again, lots of potential to run to the upside. Now, am I worried yet? No, because we're not making. We should potentially. We might not even do it because this is an upsloping green line, right? This more major green line that we have here that I just clicked on, right? So even if we come and touch this bottom, it'll be a higher high. So even if we make the other thing that we could do potentially is make like the same. Nah, we won't. We won't be able to. We might be able to make a little bit more negative momentum somehow by hitting this and potentially create like a type of hidden bullish divergence. But other than that, if we were to create like a regular bullish divergence, we would have to drop lower in price, right, and make less negative momentum, right, so we could have something there, and then we could see potential price action to the upside, right, something like this: low, lower, less negative momentum, and that's gonna be awkward because then we would be breaking out of that more major triangle, and if we break it to downside again, potential to go even lower, right? It's a large structure that we're in. You think people are worried about losing money like last year? We're in a historic growth pattern for Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of speculation going on with back launching on Monday. So that's something that you have to consider. Maybe people are starting to get a little bit scared as to what's going to happen. Maybe people are thinking that the market's going to tank. We are certainly seeing price action to the downside, right? Anyways, right now, sitting below that 20 MA, volatility starting to expand a little bit to the downside, but nothing to worry about. So what is happening here, right? Sitting below 20 MA, we have had a couple of black, or it's not black, but red candles develop, and then we have the green candles, right? So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out if there's something going on here. Lower, higher, nothing here on the MACD histogram, nothing on the MACD line. Sitting low on the RSI at 35 and still making negative momentum. Yeah, so that'll be it. We are floating between that 9,746 resistance and that 10,234. So again, I'm not too worried. I just traced this down sloping channel. We just came down and touched it again, basically, and then we're bouncing off it somehow. A couple minutes ago, we were sitting above that other part of the channel that we used as support a couple times, but it wouldn't be too weird for us to come and touch this bottom part, like the 10,400 at some point in time before we actually run up again or actually break down, right? So I'm trying to figure out if we're making anything else here. Well, I mean, this is higher, this is lower, and this is less positive momentum. So nothing that is bullish, nothing that is bearish. Divergence happening on the oscillators, right? So nothing that is telling me or screaming at me price action to the downside. I think we're just flagging around still, but we are facing that resistance from this upper resistance that we traced, this upper part of the triangle, right, that we've been in since when did we start this? I want to call it here, since June, right? Since June 26th, we were in this triangle. We have not been able to break out of it. Again, where do you want to take your measures from? It depends. I mean, some people go from the height to the lowest. And if we were to do that, it would be from here to here. Or a lot of people would take it from here to here, which is your two most immediate touch points. If you were to go from here to here somehow, here to here, there we go. And you broke to the upside, target would be 4,866. If you broke to the downside, target would be 5,300 or so, right? So again, we are very deep into the pattern. It's a very mature pattern. We should expect to see a breakout sometime soon. A lot of people were thinking that we were going to get wild movements this week. We did get one. We kind of like bounced back again, but we're not seeing those that speculation build around backed, right? So we're going to have to wait for tomorrow. And then potentially Monday when it actually launches and we see what actually happens, right? A lot of people are thinking it's going to be one of those sell the news types of events. We'll see if it comes true, right? But for the time being, we are not seeing anything that would indicate any kind of price action. Let's go into more micro scale, the 1 hour. What's happening in the 1 hour? We are just going down. Things that I can't see quickly, right? We are making bullish divergence. So from here to here, it's a lower low, and it would be from here to here, right? So it's less negative momentum. So I'll be like strong bullish divergence, class A, type 1. So again, potential price action to the upside. We are not making it here, but we are also making it on the RSI, right? So making a lesser or more neutral or higher levels of relative strength, if you want to call it that, right? So again, potential to have price action to the upside. We are seeing a small green candle starting to develop. I would have expected this to be a little bit more violent. At least come and things that could happen, right? We are facing right now resistance from this previous channel that we were in. We broke out of it a while back, but it's still there. We used it as support a couple times. That's why I just made it larger, right? At least 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've used it as support. 5, 6 if I go back here. Anyways, right now it's acting as a sort of resistance. If we break above it, then we have this midline of this other channel that I've traced. And if we were to break above that, then we have that 20 MA, right? Again, that'll be it. We are about, seems like we were about to cross on the MACD line over the signal line, right? Great positive momentum. We didn't. We're just flagging basically, right? And if you want to do some fibs, it would depend where you want to take it from, right? You could grab it from here, which would be your lower, right, to your higher. And then we'll see that we've actually retraced to that 618, and we're basically bouncing back off it, right? Using it somewhat as support. I mean, if you wanted to fine tune this, or you don't want to use that long wick because it could be FOMO, whatever, you would go to your next one, right? So it would be this one here. And then in that case, we actually did touch that 786, which would be 9,902. We actually wicked below it, and now we are basically sitting on it, right? We could still retrace to 100%, touch this wick again, or we can just basically this will be a deep retrace with that bullish divergence developing. We could potentially see a more violent price action to the upside. We'll just have to wait and see if it actually plays out, right? I'm just amazed that we have not come up and touched this upper part of this triangle in a while. We have not gone back and touched it since August the 6th, right? So, sellers could potentially, it's not the best sign, because that means the people that are selling at these levels are getting exhausted, and people are buying here, but there's not enough supply, right? Or there are people willing to sell at lower prices, and then it just keeps on tanking, right? People are wanting to buy lower, and people are not willing to sell there, And that's why we're not seeing that price action to the upside, right? Someone wants to buy, they start buying. Then there's maybe a large pool of money here, and some people want to get ahead, start bringing the price down. So stuff like that happens, right? And if you're taking positions on the market trying to buy and sell. You've probably seen it happen. You want to buy, and all of a sudden someone jumps you in the queue, and prices start to go up or down, and then you can't actually go with your position, right? Especially when you want to get out quickly, since that happens a lot, right? People are starting to get afraid, and they just start to go lower, 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 lower. The quicker they can get, so they can like get out. But right now, I mean, I'm not too worried about this. At least not until we come and touch this bottom part. If we come and touch it, then I'll start getting a little bit worried that we might break to the downside. But right now, I'm hoping that this bullish divergence that we develop could potentially play to higher prices. Yeah, that's it for Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. So this news came out today. We kind of talked about it the other day. Ethereum transactions had not quite surpassed Bitcoin's, but today, apparently yesterday, they actually did, right? So the Ethereum's network daily transaction fee surpassed Bitcoin's for the first time since March, right? And that was yesterday. And that is according to data provider Messari. Now, Messari showed that over the past 24-hour period, $207,000 were spent on transactions on Ethereum, while Bitcoin lagged at $180,000. Now, they said that one of the reasons for the increase in fees is Tether. We had talked about that Tether is kind of like clogging the network, but I do believe that this could also be because, Bitcoin did nothing and Ethereum pumped, so maybe a lot of more people were doing transactions with Ethereum, right, because it was going up. And those transactions could have had that effect, right? So, the fees don't mean anything, right? It just means that the network's being used. So the more it gets used, the more fees it pulls. So in the case of Ethereum, if it's seeing a price action to the upside, a lot of people are getting into it. Of course, there's going to be more transactions, meaning there's more fees. And if Bitcoin's doing nothing, well, that could happen. So yeah, again, that's the only article that we found. Like, news were very weak today. There was not many articles that really scream like, this is super interesting. So anyways, what is happening to Ethereum on the daily? Yesterday made a positive day, 0.29%. Right now is losing dominance, 0.62%. Like we said at the beginning, market cap, we saw market cap decreasing, but Bitcoin increasing in dominance, meaning money is probably flowing out of the alts. Okay, anyways, Ethereum right now sitting at 8.96. Price of Ethereum at 211.41. What is happening with Ethereum? Well, we're basically coming back down, touching that 236 that we traced, right, from high to low on the more major scale. And then on the more micro scale, we're also at that 236. That's like sort of like two line. We had two 236s almost at the same level, which would be 200 and like what is it? 210 or 200. It's hard to see right now. 210.61. That's where we're sitting at right now. Still like breaking back into this downsloping channel that we had. Nothing you can do there. Still sitting above the 20 MA nicely. Volatility very open on the Bollinger Bands. Sitting above that midline of the channel still. Starting to make less positive momentum. And resetting the oscillators a little bit at 63.26. So other than that, we are not doing much. On the daily, the more macro scale. So yeah, I mean, we kind of sort of could, right? If we go from here to here, it's lower, and if we go from here to here, it's higher. We are sort of ignoring this island, and that would be a hidden bearish divergence, right? So I'm just calling it out, and that's probably where we're seeing some price action to the downside, right? Let's see what is happening on the more micro scale, on the 4 hours. What's happening on the 4 hours? This candle just brought us down, basically, into that channel again. We were outside of it. Again, bouncing off that 236, sitting below that 20 MA, right? Broke out below in the last candle right now. Sitting below it, right? So could potentially come down here, touch this bottom part of the Bollinger Bands, bounce off, or keep on flagging down a little bit. Face some resistance by this old channel that we broke out of on September 19th. Bollinger Bands contracting a little bit, not too much, and still making negative momentum, right? Things that we can see easily, right? Hidden bullish divergence from here to here. It's lower, higher low here. And here we would be going, making more negative momentum, right? More bars of negative momentum. So again, this would be a hidden bullish divergence, still developing. We have not stagnated or made any light red bars. So again, continuation, and also would be happening on the RSI, right, from here to here, that hidden bullish divergence, right? Let's hope it plays out to price action to the upside. Let's go into the 1 hour and see what is happening. Anyway, sitting low on there is at 55, again at neutral. And yeah, let's go into the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, man. Anyways. Yeah, so on the 1 hour, we are not making that divergence that we had here, right? We are higher on the RSI than we were here again. And on the MACD, we will not be making it either, right? If anything, from here to here, and I'm gonna ignore maybe these little islands, right, and go from here to here right now. It would be right now strong bullish divergence, which could potentially play out to price action to the upside. Do you think Ethereum growth is a positive sign for the market, and maybe we might just be witnessing a new bull market? I think what we saw in Ethereum is that we were very tired at being at low prices on the more macro scales, right? We had a lot of bullish signs that were not playing out. They took a while to take off, and I believe that's what we saw. I'm not 100% sure yet if this is the beginning of a new bull market or altcoin season for that matter, right? I'm very reserved right now on my outlook because it's hard to actually tell if this is ushering in the new bull market, right? We are not doing anything yet. We are just basically recovering to, let me go on the daily, right? We're basically recovering to prices of August 11th. So if I go up here, then we would be recovering to prices of like August the 5th, right? You bought one Ethereum at 1,200, man. Shit. Good luck, man. That's gonna take a while to get up there again. But I mean, it could get up there, right? I mean, if you don't mind selling it and buying it and selling and buying it, you might make more money on the market instead of just holding it. I'm not sure if you're holding it or not, but if you are and you start trading with it, you might make something more, right? Yeah. So let me go back into the 1 hour. Right. I mean, this right now looks pretty good, right? I mean, it's kind of like a curve, potential like this one up here. We are flagging right now, like making 3, 4 candles of like red, 3 candles, right? So if you wanted to do impulse up, consolidation has to happen before we impulse up again, right? You ever traded at a loss? Man, yeah. You usually, do you have a strategy for that? Because if you have a strategy, then it makes it much easier, right? Like you have to set up your stop losses. You cannot just be moving them around. And usually, if your plan is to do something, and the price starts to go up, then you start like to move your stop loss higher. But if it starts to tank, then don't move your stop loss to the downside, right? If you get stopped out, but you already made a profit, then you're fine. Yeah, that's what I would tell you. I'm not sure how you overtraded or what happened, but if you don't have a strategy, okay. Yeah, that's something, man. Because a lot of people starts to go down, and then you start getting into hope. Well, it's gonna bounce, I went down a little bit more. Maybe now it's gonna bounce, and probably now that it's lower, it's gonna bounce. Well, now that it's much lower, it has to definitely go up, right? And then it just starts going to zero, man, and you can't cancel. And by that time, you already lost a lot of your position. So just be mindful of that, right? You have to set up your stop losses. Let's say if you would have gone in here, right? Maybe your stop loss probably. What price was this? Let's say the bottom part of the wick, right? You're 165, right? Probably you could have put your stop loss at 150, and I mean, everyone has different appetite, right? You're trading 10 times a day. Now you trade once per week. Yeah, well, day trading and swing trading are different things. For swing trading, you want to have large movements within a short span, and you could get them if this was a heavy bull market and you would see pumps going on, and lot more price action, right? But right now that it's being kind of stagnant, you have to do a little bit more on swing trading, right? Which takes over a period of time, right? Like days, weeks, sometimes even months, man. And you would have to like gauge where you get in, when you get out, things like that. But if you would have gone in here, stop loss 150, 10% drop on these markets are sometimes usual, but not seen every day. Like here we had like a 7%, right? But maybe when it wicked, it did hit that 10%. So 160 would be $16 below. So we're 165. If you put 150, it still covers you a little bit. That's why I was saying like that $15 margin, right? That you need for you not to get stopped out before you actually run up again. And then when you start running up, you also start scaling up your stop loss, right? So maybe here your stop loss would already be in here. You keep going up, and by that time you're not basically killing yourself. And don't touch your stop loss, don't bring it to the downside. Just move it to the upside so that you're basically not getting stopped out, and you keep certain profits that you want to keep, right? Yeah. Anyways, on to so Ethereum, right? Sitting low on the RSI on the 1 hour. Sorry, I'm on the daily. Sitting low on the RSI on the 1 hour at 35.48. Still making negative momentum. That bar just moved a little bit, so I'm gonna basically do this here. This is not necessarily good because we might make more negative momentum, and this will get negated, right? If we go here, then we're going with the market. Even if we go straight, we would be making like a weaker type of bullish divergence, right? But I'm gonna leave this line straight. Just consider that if we never touched it, we are developing a strong bullish divergence, and if I leave it there, we will be making like weak bullish divergence, right? Like type C, class 3, however you want to call it, right? Class C, type 3, up to you. Anyways, why am I doing it here? Well, this positive momentum was very short-lived, so I'm not gonna buy it, right? I feel more comfortable going here than here, so that's why I'm putting it there. Now we would not be making that on the RSI. We're certainly going lower, so just happening on the histogram. Again, potential price action to the upside. We're sitting outside of the Bollinger Band, sitting below 20 MA, still above that 236. So that 210, 210. Anyways, let's go on to Ripple. What is happening with Ripple, man? I do have news for Ripple. I have 2 articles. Well, this one we kind of covered the other day. I'm not going to go too much into it. It's about that lawsuit and what they're basically fighting back. Now, Ripple Labs said that the federal regulators have already concluded that Ripple is a currency and a commodity, not a security. Well, not in the U.S., right? Other places they have, like London and stuff. So, but anyways, this is the reply to the lawsuit in parts. We covered it in another stream. We're not going to cover this again. I'm going to link it, however, up here in the corner once the stream is done. And you'll see that card pop up, and then we can, you can go watch that if you want once this is done. Yeah. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. Now, Ripple is partnering up with 2 banks. They are one bank is in Peru, the other one is in the UK. Now, this is to basically enhance the adoption of this protocol. The bank in Peru, it's called Interbank, and the bank in the UK is called Bitesa. Yeah, and the platform has also recently uploaded a list of active users on its website. It contains the companies like MoneyGram, TransferGo, GoLance, Instagram, SendFriend, and MercuryFX. Now, Interbank was founded in 1897, many people know it as the Peruvian provider of financial services, and will provide users with ATMs and change machines, right? Now, these machines facilitate the exchange of notes for crypto, which is pretty cool. Again, driving adoption. And Vitesse launch took place in 2013, and it will provide cross-border payment services to the banks using a globally distributed settlement network. Now, Ripple revealed that these 2 banks perfectly fit its requirements, right? Because both of them execute international types of payments. The main purpose of these partnerships is to create awareness for the XRP token and to ensure fast overseas payments, right? Now, more people that come on board with Ripple, the more money we're gonna start seeing flow through it, and the better it's gonna be, right? It's gonna be more volume in the market, and volume sometimes brings price action and volatility, and with that, again, we could see certain stuff happen, right? We talked about this the other day with when we played that video clip, right, from that lady at Ripple. I was saying that they partnered up with Coinbase. Well, it wasn't quite a partner up, but they were using Coinbase to send the money from the U.S. to Mexico, and for that was probably for all the transfers that they have with MoneyGram, right? MoneyGram sends the order to like the Ripple network. Ripple uses one of the exchanges to buy it, sends it to Mexico, right? That exchange changes into peso and then delivers it to MoneyGram in Mexico. So again, they are using the exchanges for that flow of XRP, bringing again, like I said, money into the exchanges. So you have to go buy. You're gonna bring that price up. You transfer to that other exchange. You're gonna bring that price down, and at some point in time, the bots are gonna match them out because you have to sell it when it gets to that other exchange, right? So you're bringing the price down, and that gap has to close out, right? It has to balance out again. So you are kind of negating the transfers, but on different exchanges, and that creates room for arbitrage. Now, for that to happen, is you have to have coins on both markets, right? Let's say you have coins on Coinbase and coins on Ripple. I mean on Bitso, right? So when you see that price go up, you sell your position in Coinbase and you buy it back on Bitso when it goes down, and then you just transfer that XRP over to your Coinbase account and you have that money there. So you buy it high. You sold high, you bought low, and you can have that arbitrage going on, but that means you have to be kind of like hunting for it all the time, and it could be very slight, right? Depends on how many tokens are on the market at the time. So again, it could potentially happen, right? Something happened with my music and it's not playing, man. I'm gonna reload that website and see if I can get it to play. There we go. There we go. Music's back. For some reason, it can't stop. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the other Ripple that we had, right? The charts. Let's go look at the Ripple chart. What is happening with Ripple on the daily, man? Ripple yesterday, small positive day, almost nothing, right? 0.15%. Right now, losing dominance, 1.52%. Money flowing out of Ripple sitting at 4.77. Right now, price of Ripple at 28 cents. So 28.19 cents, actually, right? So that's what we're sitting at. Again, third day of negative price action. One more day than Ethereum. That's fine. Nothing to worry about there. With Ripple, that seems to be like the ongoing joke, right? It pumps up and then it just goes back down to 25 cents or 35 cents, right? I do like Ripple. I'm into Ripple, so I mean, I do like to make fun of it as well. So it just makes it a little bit easier when the price goes down. What is happening, right? So sitting at 53 on the RSI, starting to make less positive momentum. That's fine. We're not developing anything on this more micro scale, right? Because we're higher, and the only thing that we could potentially be developing, and that would be ignoring all the small islands here. It would be from here to here, which would be from here to here, and we would be making again a hidden bearish divergence, right? On the price, on the RSI, we would not have it, right? Because this is lower, this is higher. Oh well, no, we would also have it. Sorry. Where is it that I threw that from? From here, right? So from here to here, we would definitely have it, right? It would be also that hidden bearish divergence that we talked about. So just keep that one in mind. So you could potentially play out the price action to the downside. So what's going on, Benny? How are things going with you, man? I noticed that you sent me some messages on the Twitter, but yeah, how's life, bro? Just type something out while I keep on doing the analysis. 4 hours, man. That potential level bottom that we talked about obviously didn't play out, so I'm gonna remove it. We said it was a potential. We did not see that price action to the upside, and that is fine. Sitting below at 20 MA, broken back into this downsloping channel that we were once in. Still making negative momentum, right? and sitting low on the RSI at 42.50. Now, let me go zoom in a little bit more because we might see something here developing, right? So what is this? 257, 239. Not quite. It's very slight, right? It's going in slightly, and this would be going out slightly, right? Lines would be converging. It would be a type of bullish divergence, strong, but I'm not sure if this will hold out, right? Again, same thing that happened with Ethereum. I'm gonna leave it straight right now. If we go down and touch it, then we would negate it, and that wouldn't happen, right? So, anyways, price going down. Like I said, let's go into more micro scale in the 1 hour. In the 1 hour, we're doing a nothing, man. It looks like whatever we did, we just undid, right? So we are starting to make a positive, slightly positive bar. So we still have 22 minutes on the candle to go, right? And that's yeah, still below 20 MA, starting to make negative momentum or keep on building negative momentum. No signs of stagnation. About to hit that. I mean, we haven't quite. It just kind of seems like we moved sideways here because this candle's not doing anything. But we are sitting at 30.17 on the RSI. Not oversold, but definitely very low on that sold scale, and could potentially see us run to the upside again. Are we making something? Well, yeah, we are, right? Do we want to take this one into account? The small islands. If we don't, then we'll go from here to here, and then we'll go from here to here, right? The lines would be converging. It would be strong bullish divergence that we would be developing, right? Not on the RSI because we're actually going lower, and not in the histogram. Maybe on the histogram we would be also be getting it, right? So we'll be from here to here. So again, if that was to play out, potential price action to the upside, we are seeing some stagnation happening, so it could potentially develop in the next hour or so. Let's see if it actually plays out, right? It's potential because we have not stagnated on that negative momentum yet, so we could keep on building it and negate it, even though on the 1 hour to do it, we'd have to come all the way down here. So it would bring us very, very low on that histogram, right? And that is because we are ignoring all these lines because it's just basically chop. If we were to use them, right, we wouldn't be doing it because we were making higher levels of negative momentum and then making lower lows, right? So again, we'll be going with the market. The lines would be similar. So yeah, it wouldn't apply. So we're gonna jump onto the Litecoin chart because there are no Litecoin news, and there's actually one Binance article at the end. So if you want to look at the news, or if you're here for the news, you might want to stay tuned for that. If you don't really care for the news and you want the chart analysis, then we'll finish with Binance once that is done, right? Anyways, what is happening, man? Again, losing dominance. Yesterday lost 0.87 dominance. Right now losing 1.03%. Sitting at 1.87 of market dominance. What is happening with the price of Litecoin, man? Still going down, right? We had also this potential level bottom. I'm going to get rid of it. It didn't play out as well. Like I said, it was a potential, right? What is happening? Well, we're making a higher high than, well, not quite. I mean, 1.29, 1.60. Yes, it's higher, man. So we will be making hidden. Yeah. We're making hidden bearish divergence right now on the daily and also on the RSI. Right, we are ignoring this small line here of this positive momentum, right? And we would be seeing that again. It could play out or not. Let's go into the 4 hours. What's happening on the 4 hours? We're seeing below 20 MA. Some contraction on the Bollinger Bands, not too much. Still making negative momentum. Again, nothing we can do there. We had this hidden bullish divergence that didn't play out. You know, we called it yesterday. We said it could play out. It didn't. You know, that's what that double bottom could potentially have played out as well. We're going to get rid of it. We just kept on building more negative momentum, right? That's the thing. Like I said, until we made a bar that it's neutral, right, or white, light red, then we have not, the patterns are not completed, so we cannot call them that yet, right? Right now, we would be going lower and making more negative momentum, so we would be congruent with the market, not making any sort of divergence right now. If anything, like, since we never made that positive here, we could say something from here to here, right? And then from here to here. It wouldn't matter because if even we stagnate or do anything, it will just be going more or less. I mean, more than less. So from here to here, we would definitely be making that hidden bullish divergence, right? And also on, yeah, slightly on the RSI. I mean, this candle is still going, but we are sitting at a little bit lower, right? So again, could potentially be developing it, hidden a bullish divergence on the 4-hour on Litecoin. Let's go into the 1-hour. In the 1-hour, what's happening with the 1-hour, right? So we had this bearish divergence, price action to the downside. We are getting it. We are not making any positive momentum since. However, we seem to be stagnating here, right? What is this bar at? 0.12, 0.11, almost same height from here to here. Right? And we are making a lower low. Move from here to here, right? Sorry. From here to here. So again, that would be like a weak bullish divergence, price action to the upside. We are starting to get our first positive candle. We are still very we're still diverging on the MACD and the signal line, right? So that's fine. And we're sitting low on the RSI at 31.95. And trying to figure out what else is going on with this. Again, if you're watching us live and you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. Yeah, I only have one article about Binance, and I'm not even sure if it's worth looking at, man. It's just a BS article, man. It's just like Binance and Changpeng response to complaints of DGB coin founder about its dismissal. You know, community reacts, right? Well, apparently this guy is complaining because he was asked for 300,000 and 3% of all DGBs for insurance for their customers against blockchain hacks and defects, right? That's what they were asking for, and basically they were told, no way, man. So by the DGB people, right, Digibyte, and that's why they did not get listed. They're reviving this topic, you know, going back and forth, and I think it's just like BS, right? So like Changpeng saying what interesting in a fucked up way. Sorry, that's his words, not mine. I think he specifically does not want DGB listed on Binance. Not gonna waste my time on these type of guys. There's more interesting things to do in life. Moving on, right? So again, whatever, man. It doesn't bring anything to price action, or you know, I just mentioned it because it's the only thing I found. Anyways, on to the Binance on the daily dominance. Yesterday made a nice green candle, right? Very small, but it's nice because we kind of undid what we did the prior day. So 0.26% up. Right now we lost it all, so 0.99% down. Sitting at 1.26 of market dominance. Price of Binance at $20.53. We are still within the downsloping channel. Have not been able to break out of it. Still, we are sitting below at 20 MA. Positive momentum starting to die down and sitting at 37.6 on the RSI. Again, doing nothing, man. Let's go on the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, sitting below at 20 MA, making negative momentum still. Negative momentum still. And are we doing something? No. Yeah, I mean, maybe from here to here. And from here to here. I think this bar is lower, 0.811, 0.06, 0.8. What? Yeah, it looks like we're making a little bit more negative momentum that we were back here, right? Anyways, that would be diverging on the bottom side, so that would be hidden bullish divergence, and we would also be seeing it on the RSI, right? So from here to here. That's it. That's it for this coin, right? Because some contraction on the Bollinger Band's happening. Really nothing else going on. Let's go on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, basically being rejected by a 20 MA a couple times, one, two, three, four, 5 times, breaking down right now. Still making negative momentum, sitting low on the RSI, not as low as we were, right? We hit like 30 again, very low on that sold, but not oversold. Are we doing something here on the more micro scale? Not yet. I mean, if we wanted to go with the bodies instead of the wicks, we would, right? We would be making bullish divergence, price action to the upside, but only on the MACD histogram, right? And that'll be it, man. There's not much going on right now with the coins. It just looks like everything's moving sideways. Anyways, guys, yeah. So if you guys are still tuned in, let me know, right? What else is happening? Well, that's it. I'm not sure if the music started playing back on the OBS, man. Apparently, it's not showing me that there's any audio from the desktop, so something weird probably happened. Again, I am hearing the music on my side. Maybe you hear it as a faint sound that gets picked up by the microphone, but I'm not sure if it's actually showing up on the stream. Something weird happened that it got cut off, right? What is this? Yeah, I guess that's it, man. Yeah. Anyways, well, yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. That'll be all for today. If you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Show this to your friends, Have a great Saturday afternoon. Go out, enjoy yourself, have fun, live life. And that'll be all for today. Again, I'll catch you all tomorrow.